When Poseidon came to live with them, the Telechians showed him around and taught him the ways of the ocean. These are fish. This is coral. One especially nasty trick they taught him was how to use his trident as a lever. Poseidon learned how to wedge the trident's prongs under the base of an island and flip it so that the whole landmass disappeared under the sea. In combat, he could do this with mountains on dry land. A couple of times he flipped mountains right on top of his enemies, crushing them flat. See? I told you he was a boss. Eventually, Poseidon got tired of the Telechians and decided to build his own palace. Good move, Dad. And he went to the bottom of the Aegean Sea and used his earth-shaking, wave-making powers to raise a big mansion made of pearl, sea stone, and abalone. His gardens were full of exotic sea plants, with luminescent jellyfish drifting around like Christmas lights. He had great white sharks for guard dogs and mermen for servants, and his doorways were huge, because every once in a while the whales and sea monsters would float through to pay their respects. If you ask me, Poseidon's crib was way cooler than Hades' or Zeus's, and when Poseidon was sitting on his polished coral throne, he felt pretty good about himself. The entire sea was under his control. The fish adored him. All the sailors in the Mediterranean made offers to him and prayed for safe passage. Everybody seemed to love him. So Poseidon thought, hey, I should go up top and offer to be the patron for one of the mortal cities. Like I mentioned earlier, this was a big deal for gods. The more mortals who prayed to you, the stronger you got. If you could get a whole city dedicated to you, with statues and temples and souvenir t-shirts and all the tourist shops, that was the ultimate in bragging rights. Poseidon decided to try for the capital of Attica, on the Greek mainland, which is one of the biggest and most important cities in Greece. Hey, go big or go home, right? He showed up at the city's Acropolis, which was the main fortress on top of the tallest hill. The earth shook. Poseidon appeared in a swirling column of salt and mist. He struck his trident against the nearest rock, splitting it open and creating a geyser of salt water. "Behold," he shouted to the crowds, "I am Poseidon, here to become patron of your city." Pretty good entrance. Unfortunately, Athena, the goddess of wisdom, had shown up a few seconds before with the exact same offer. She was standing nearby in her gray robes, her battle helmet tucked under her arm, conducting negotiations with the city elders. Poseidon muttered. Awkward. The city elders gasped at the sea god with his glowing trident, and at the massive geyser of salt water that now spouted from the hilltop. "Lord Poseidon," one of them said. The poor mortals looked back and forth between the two gods. I can't blame them for being nervous. You never want to be forced to choose between gods. No matter which you picked, the other is likely to stomp you as if you were a cockroach. Poseidon wasn't sure what to do either. How dare this upstart goddess Athena, this second-generation Olympian, steal his idea? He was tempted to chase her off with his trident, but before he could, Athena cried, "I know how we can settle this peacefully." Typical. Athena always had some sneaky idea. Poseidon wasn't interested in peace at the moment, but the mortals all looked very good and relieved, and he didn't want to act like a bad sport in front of his future followers. "Well," he grumbled, "what is your plan?" "A contest," Athena said. "You and I will each create one gift for the city. The elders will judge between them. Whichever god gives the city the most valuable gift will be its patron. The other god will accept the elders' judgment and leave in peace. Agreed?" Thousands of mortal eyes turned to Poseidon. He wanted to smack Athena into the sea, but she had put him on the spot. He couldn't exactly say no. "Yeah," he grunted. "Okay." Athena gestured to him courteously. "Gentlemen first." Poseidon frowned. What would be a valuable gift for these mortals? A box of pearls? Some pet jellyfish? Perhaps a stable of whales they could ride. Parking the whales downtown might be a problem. Perhaps another form of animal. Something strong and fast, but adapted to land-dwelling humans. Poseidon gazed at the waves breaking on the beach far below. As the whitecaps raced and crashed, he got an idea. He began to smile. "Watch this," he said. He pointed his trident, and the waves began to take shape. When they reached the shore, they became majestic animals with 4 long legs and flowing manes. They ran straight onto the beach, whinnying and prancing.